Mr. Jacklich, there you are there, son.
Yeah.
What is happening today?
It's a beautiful day right now. We got rain last night, and significant enough there's no grass play today, but and then some thunderstorms are on the horizon for later this afternoon. So Jeff's
So you
doing a lot
have
of
time. You have time for the gold ballers.
So Jeff's doing a lot of busy work today.
The gold ball hunters. Jeff has got time today. That's cool. We'll get
Yes.
it. Listen, thanks for hanging out with us today. That's great. Guys, same thing to you. Thanks for hanging out. Another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. I'm Brent Abel. That guy over there is Jeff Jacklich, and we are here to help you reduce your skill level range. The acronym
What is that,
being
Brent?
your
What is that?
SLR. What is the skill level range?
SLR.
SLR.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. What is that?
In a nutshell. Well, yesterday I went out and played out of my mind. I went home last night, told my beautiful wife, honey, I got this thing figured out. And of course she went, oh, that's great, dear. That's cool. Okay, very nice. Knowing full well the chances of me going out today and playing like crud were pretty strong. The chances are pretty strong. Sure enough, went out today, played like crud. And so yesterday here, today, boom, down in here. The difference between those two is your skill level range. And our job is to help you guys reduce that skill level range. So whatever the top of your current skill level is, that we start getting you up here so that every day when you go out and play, whether it's singles or doubles, you build this confidence that you know how you're going to play today.
Yeah.
And that's really, I think, that's the one secret to how do you build confidence. You can read all the books and do all the cassettes or whatever. We don't have cassettes anymore. I don't know what we got now. We got something, we got MP3 files or whatever that is. But you can do all that stuff, but until you really actually, Jeff Jacklich style, boots on the ground, day to day,
yeah,
you start playing at top, not maybe every day, but pretty darn close where that skill level range is tiny. That's when you build true confidence in your game.
Let me throw this in there too, because this is something we haven't kind of addressed in this whole package of SLR, right? Your skill level range. Skill level range also, like you just mentioned, is the mental capacity as well. So even on days that you're not striking the ball as clean as you'd like, and that doesn't mean that day is going to be like this.
Right.
What's your mental capability to stay in the hunt, and actually, what's the solution today? And so the solution is, I understand the plan in my head. I just have to execute it good enough. Do I have the capacity to stay on task? Do the extra ball, one extra ball per point. It could be that. I've played tons of matches where, okay, Jeff, you're not finishing the point very well today. It's going to take one extra ball. And that was enough to be good enough to get through that match that day. So my skill level range didn't necessarily drop out the bottom. It stayed where I still pulled off the win. It wasn't as pretty as yesterday, but I had the capacity to get through it and come back tomorrow for the next round.
I think the big mistake players make is they think that the very top of their range is all based on how well do they execute stroke technique today.
Right.
And that, if they're down here, if they have a day where they lay an egg, lots of times it's not the quality of your stroke technique on that day. It's just poor shot choice. It's just that you're who you played yesterday. Today you're playing a guy that stroke technique is feeding the beast.
Yeah, right.
And
what's the issue today?
Right.
And I think that's a big part of it is, and we've all heard this phrase. It's great, when we win, when we're playing out of our heads. Those are fun days. Absolutely, they are fun days to be on the court. Love them. Wish I had more of them. But it's not whether you can win when you're playing well. Can you win when you're not playing well?
Mediocre.
Can you find the solution when you're playing mediocre ball?
That's right.
And the other guy's playing well.
Right.
It still doesn't come down to the fact that it's necessarily that guy's going to win.
Yeah. Well,
can you find the solution for the day?
Yeah, and if we're looking at the rating scale where, let's say you're a 4-0 guy.
Mm-hmm.
And some days you can actually play up here around 4-2.
Yeah.
But the bottom of your skill level range is down around 3-7. Right? And the difference there is that what you just described is that it's not all about stroke technique making you a 4-2. It is that you were choosing the right shots to hit on that particular day, and it ended up in a W, ended up in a win. You can still have the lousy stroke technique, the difference, right? One day great, one day lousy.
Right.
But you can play and get the 4-2 W, just like you said, Jeff, under, making sure that you're making the right shot choice.
Right.
And it's a different opponent. I mean, if it's a league match or a tournament match, they're different opponents. So you're comparing apples to oranges when you play one day great and then you play a totally different guy the next day, or gal.
Right.
Might take a different play or two.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So look, you and I are coming out with our playbook, right? And we are actually renaming the thing for a couple of different reasons. It's no longer to be known as a senior singles playbook. I think primarily because it's a little bit too generic. It does not really doesn't really describe what the problems are.
Right. It doesn't speak to what it is we're focused on and how we're going to help. It's not about just these, simply, X's and O's like a football play. It's way more than that.
Well, it is, and it does. It's primarily based on how can we help you reduce your skill level range.
Right.
And I want to make sure players don't think that because one day here and the next day down here that we're trying to find the common ground. We're trying to bring the bottom up every day, whether it's singles or doubles, to the very top, so that's where you build true confidence. So, look, here's the title of the course. It's called Singles: How You Can Bridge the Gap Between Chaos and Confidence with 7 gold ball winning plays. Here's what actually works. So, and I think the point is that what we're trying to do is there's definitely a gap between on those days when you're confident. Well, how do we keep you confident day in and day out? Because there's too many days where you're not and it's just chaos.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's just not becoming mentally tougher. A lot of that is being able to actually have a set of plays in your toolbox that you could confidently pull out against this guy today who is different than the guy you played yesterday.
Right.
And I think that the tagline is here's what actually works, is a reality check in terms of here's what the guys and gals who are winning the national titles, the gold balls, here's what they do. You don't have to reinvent the wheel on this thing.
No.
And you don't have to look like Rafa. Oh my God, you don't have to look like Rafa.
You mean I can win a gold ball hitting a slice forehand? Why, yes, you can.
Yes, you can. I think we've got the guy. We have the model who's done that over,
I think
180 times.
Yeah, I think we interviewed him once,
That's
a little while ago. Yeah, and I think, speaking for myself, I've told the story, a few times, with different topics addressing the story, playing Berkeley back in 2016 and just having mentally and emotionally just being a wreck going into that tournament and finding a way to do exactly what we're describing here. And that was the ball didn't feel good on the strings. Mentally and emotionally, like I said, I was a mess, which means physically, okay. Okay.
Well, it could have been chaotic.
Yeah, and in the quarters and semis, the first set was chaotic because I lost the first set in both those matches, then came back and won the next 2 sets 2-2 in both those matches. And the thing that saved me was taking the moment at the end of each set to just calm myself down, corral myself, get a plan, a strict plan in place. What patterns am I going to use? And that's all I did for the next 2 sets. Yeah. Literally, 2 different patterns, which are in this course, 2 different patterns. That's all I did.
Right.
Because it's all I could handle.
Yeah, but you didn't go
we're
in
talking
there.
about what works,
Yeah.
what actually works.
Yeah,
right?
well, right. I was just going to say that what you didn't do is go into your set of plays and go, well, I got to go full Western. Well, I got to go windshield wiper. Well, I better put on the elbow brace because when I try to do that in practice, I've got some problems. So it's really less about stroke technique. It's really taking average stroke technique and saying, can you make the ball bounce over there, and then can you move to this next place in the court? I mean, one of the plays in this, I used to beat the number 1 seed at the hard courts this year. Yeah, I'd never beaten this guy before, but because you and I have been talking about this thing so much, today's episode number 215. For the last 215 days, there's been a common theme in terms of one of the plays, and anyone can deploy it. And I deployed it and, beat this guy for the first time. It was a big deal, semis, and got me to the finals. Yeah. And so, anyway, so not only are we talking about what's coming, but we want to make sure that you guys know the reason that we are changing the name of this course, because we want to really have the title of it be a lot more specific about what this can do for you, about what problems it can solve for you.
Right.
And it's really all about skill level range. It's all about that difference between chaos and confidence. And it's bridging the gap. And now the more that I talk about it, I really I can visually see that the top of the skill level range is confidence and the bottom is chaos. And basically giving players the tools to be able to reduce the chaos and get up to that every day when you go out.
And the exit strategy on the chaos is the clarity in what to do.
Yeah.
What to do. And that's what this is about. It's about here are 7 tried and true plays that the gold ballers out there winning gold balls and silvers and bronzes actually deploy day in and day out, match in, match out.
Right.
Consistently. They're not using another set of 15 plays at the next national tournament. No, it's becoming a master. It's mastering these 7 plays and really knowing your toolbox so that you have clarity, and that clarity breeds confidence.
Yeah, no question. All right, so I know what's on my to-do list to finish off this thing. Jeff, what's on yours?
No, well, it's on my list. It's on that list.
It's on your to-do list of lots of things.
It's all there.
To do. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen.
I'm not sure we have time for me to list them all out, right?
No, that's true. Well, we got about 3 days before we're going to launch this thing. So we'll get to it. But guys, anyway, listen. Thanks for hanging out, and would love to hear from you. I know Jeff always at the end has the 4 things he wants you to do, but one thing for sure that both of us would love to read in the comment section. Or shoot us an email at letusknow@goldballhunting.com. But the things we'd love to hear from you are, is there something really specific that you're struggling with your singles game that maybe we should consider of adding this to this course? And by the way, the course is just not the 7 plays. We got some stuff we're going to give you that is not part of the plays, but things you absolutely have got to have. If you're gonna compete and reduce that skill level range in a competitive situation, whether it's a tournament, whether it's a league, even if you're going to go play some guy on Wednesday night and you're going to go.
If you truly want to consistently be in the hunt,
got to have it.
Got to have it.
Cool. All right, guys. In the meantime, until we come out, we are still offering a free, no charge, complimentary on us 10 to 15 minute coaching call where we are asking you to bring that one thing in your game right now that's a little thorn in the side. It's dang it. Or maybe it's that extra poison oak you got that you can't stop scratching it, man. It's just like, God, it's annoying. So we would love to get on the phone with you. It's private. It is free. just the three of us, you, me, and Jeff. And what we'll do is we'll chat about that, and then Jeff and I will give you our best recommendation for how you might start getting the result that you want. The way to do that, go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in your first name and email address, click the button. You'll get access to our online calendar where you can schedule a time and date, or a date and time that works best for you. Jeff, at this point, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below. And I'm going to throw this in there too. If you've done something, if you've tried something that you've heard through our podcast and show here that you've had success with, let us know as well.
Maybe we've screwed you up.
Yeah, I did something.
Let us know too.
I tried to do this, but maybe I'm not getting it right.
Yeah.
Love to hear it.
I didn't quite interpret that thing right. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks for hanging out with us again today. Get out there, wherever you are. Help someone else have a great day. Jeff, we'll do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.